Good morning. It is Monday, June 3rd, and today is the memorial of St. Charles Lwanga and companions. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. I've got an election update for you, but first, your local weather and this news. 5 people were injured yesterday in a crash in Detroit that caused an ambulance to roll over. The crash happened at the intersection of Wyoming Avenue and Chicago. An EMS technician in the back of the ambulance sustained serious injuries and was taken to the hospital. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash. Michigan State Police seized almost 2 pounds of methamphetamine during a bust on Thursday last week. Police say they executed a search warrant in Detroit and Plymouth Township that led to the recovery of 1.6 pounds of methamphetamine, almost 300 suspected fentanyl pills, almost 300 grams of fentanyl, 30 grams of cocaine, 45 grams of heroin, 6 guns, and a vehicle. 2 people are in custody in connection to the bust. Charges are pending at this time. The Detroit Riverfront Conservancy can't reach its financial officer embroiled in a financial scandal. According to the Detroit News, officials have not heard from William A. Smith since April 19th. Smith was put on leave earlier in May amid a federal investigation into the Conservancy's finances. This comes after sources said that up to $40 million may have been stolen due to financial misconduct. Over the weekend, the Conservancy fired Smith, and the Conservancy's CEO, Mark Wallace, resigned. In sports, the Michigan Panthers fell to the Birmingham Stallions by 1 point on Saturday in the UFL. The final score was 19-20. They'll have an opportunity for a rematch this Saturday for the USFL Conference Championship. That game will be on ABC. The former owner of the Negro League's Detroit Stars is thrilled that Major League Baseball is finally recognizing stats from the league's players. Minnie Forbes lives in Grand Rapids and owned the Stars from 1956 to 1958 after the ownership was transferred from her uncle Ted Raspberry due to him owning also the Kansas City Monarch.
I'm happy for them making that decision, which probably should have been made years ago. However, I feel sad because the players back then don't have an opportunity, to enjoy.
Forbes says the players were forced to endure discrimination and segregation, especially when traveling and playing ball in the southern U.S. And the Tigers sent their first baseman, Spencer Torkelson, to the Toledo Mudhens over the weekend. The 24-year-old was the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 draft, and he was sent back after performance issues in the last few games. You're listening to Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. Your local weather's coming up next. Now this.
Persecution around the world has manifested itself through the centuries, but it is worse today than ever before. Aid to the Church in Need and its donors have been there to help since 1947, never abandoning the Church or her most vulnerable children. Will you stand up for your faith and accompany our brothers and sisters on their spiritual journey? Visit churchinneed.org. churchinneed.org.
In Detroit today, we'll have some fog hanging around this morning, but that should clear out by 11 a.m. We'll have mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day with a high near 80. Tonight, expect temperatures to drop to the mid-60s. Tomorrow, we'll have partly sunny skies with a high near 88. Wednesday, we could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms midday. Highs will be in the mid-80s. And Thursday, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs will be in the upper 70s. In Saginaw today, we'll have some fog hanging around this morning, but that should clear out by 11 a.m. We'll have mostly cloudy skies for the day and a high near 82. Tonight, we'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the early morning hours. Lows will dip to the mid-60s. Tomorrow, we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Our high will be near 88. Wednesday, we'll see rain in the morning and possibly a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Temperatures will be in the lower 80s. Thursday, we could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and highs will be in the mid-70s. Welcome back to Michigan Mornings. I'm Matthew Handley, and I have an election update for you this morning. Reaction by politicians to former President Trump being convicted on all 34 charges in his hush money case in New York are among party lines. Michigan State Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt of Van Buren County says it seems like the fix was already in on this Manhattan verdict while speaking to reporters at the Detroit Regional Chamber Mackinac Policy Conference.
Some rogue New York DA that goes ahead and does this kind of lawfare, takes a presidential candidate or nominee, a Republican nominee, off the trail for as long as they have.
But State Representative Julie Rogers, a Kalamazoo Democrat, is pleased with the conviction of former President Trump.
Sounds like the justice system has prevailed. We have a democracy, and so I'm thrilled that this decision has been reached. It brings some finality to the situation.
In the latest poll average from Decision Desk HQ and thehill.com, former President Trump leads President Joe Biden by 1 point. Meanwhile, President Biden is expected to sign an executive order tomorrow that addresses immigration and border security. Here is thehill.com White House columnist Niall Stanage.
Immigration is basically the single worst issue for President Biden and the Democrats. If you look at polls, it's around about 60% disapprove of his conduct of policy.
He was speaking there to News Nation Now. A community leader who has requested anonymity told News Nation that the White House has been contacting mayors of border cities about attending the announcement. Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Adam Hollier announced he was suspending his campaign over the weekend. He told the Detroit News that he will be focusing on turning out the black vote in Detroit. And finally, former President Donald Trump joined TikTok over the weekend, and in less than 24 hours, he had amassed more followers than President Joe Biden. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. St. Paul VI says the African martyrs herald the dawn of a new age. If only the mind of man might be directed not towards persecution and religious conflicts, but towards the rebirth of Christianity and civilization. I'm Matthew Handley. That does it for this edition of Michigan Mornings on Ave Maria Radio. You can stay connected with me on X. I'm at Radio Handley. Lord willing, I will talk to you again tomorrow. And until then, goodbye.